All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little activity on making inferences. That's kind of a big word. Inference. Do you know what it means to make an inference?
I've never heard the word, but I think it means like making a guess.
Okay, all right, so kind of write down on that piece of paper using that pencil what you think an inference is. That's okay. Okay, so it's a guess. So why would an inference or being able to make an inference be important when you are reading? Why would that be an important skill that you need to have?
Maybe because if you're trying to figure out what's happening and it doesn't exactly say, you could use context clues to figure it out.
Ooh, context clues, that's a big word. What does context clues mean?
Like you read the sentence and then you read another sentence and then kind of like you can figure out kind of what's happening.
Okay, and a inference is a guess or it's also a prediction. So what is a prediction?
When you say something might happen, like the Weather Channel, they predict if it's going to rain or be sunny outside.
Okay, yeah, so that's a good example, like we talked about predictions and the weather making predictions. So, all right, so here's what we're going to do today. You've got some little note cards here in front of you, and then you've got this little triangle that has basically some inferences on it. Mm-hmm. So we're going to read these, and then we're going to decide if the answer to the question they ask is here on this chart, and I've just got a bunch of coins over here that we'll use as markers. So I'll kind of show you. I'll model this first one for you. It says, the bear ate lots of nuts and fish. Her fur got thick. She prepared her den. The leaves fell from the trees, and the days turned colder. What was the bear getting ready to do? So look on here and see if you see an answer that would match that would be appropriate of what the bear was getting ready to do.
I don't think it's on this one.
Okay. Well, based on what you know about bears, what do you think the bear is getting ready to do?
Hibernate.
Hibernate. So it's going to sleep for the winter. All right, so that one's not on that page. So if it's not on the page, we're going to put it in a separate pile over here, and then we'll pick up the next one. All right, I'm going to let you read this one and give it a try.
The cat stretches and yawns. She strolls over to her favorite spot. The sun shines in and makes it very warm. She watches the birds and
Squirrels.
Squirrels. Sometimes the fresh air blows in on her. She climbs up into her soft bed and looks at the animals for a while. Then she curls up and goes to sleep. Where is the cat's favorite spot?
Okay, so the cat has a favorite spot. Where do you think the cat's favorite spot is? Do you see that answer on your triangle?
I don't.
Don't see that one? Okay, so let's put that one over here in this one. All right. All right, pull your next one.
The girl sneezed. Her dad felt her forehead and took her temperature. She told him her throat hurt. He pulled the blankets over her. He told her to try to sleep while he called her teacher. Why did he call the teacher? Her teacher.
Okay. All right, so let's see if that one's on there.
She was sick and would be
absent.
Absent.
All right, get you a coin. Oh, going for the big one, the quarter. All right. Okay, so let's look at that card though before you put that one away, because you did good. You did make a good inference or prediction. What kind of clues helped you to know that the dad was going to call the teacher because the little girl is sick and not going to school?
Because she said, the thing said that she sneezed and the daughter told the dad that her throat hurt, and she took her temperature and stuff.
Yeah, so all those things are associated when somebody's sick. All right, so let's turn that one face down over there so we know we've used that one. All right, let's look at the next one.
The boy rode his bike to his friend's house after dinner. When he got there, he rang the bell. He waited, but no one came to the door. He looked in the driveway. The car was not there. There were no lights on and the windows were all closed. The boy got back on his bike and went home. What did the boy think?
Okay.
He thought no one was home?
Okay, so you thought no one was home. What gave you clues to that? What helped you figure out that that's what the boy thought?
Because it said there was no one there, or the car was not there, there were no lights on, and the windows were all closed.
Okay, and so basically that lets you know, and even though he went ahead and rang the doorbell, he knew enough with the signs that probably no one was home, right? Okay, so I would go ahead and agree and say no one was home. All right, put that one, turn it face down.
Okay.
All right, let's pull the next one.
The room was a mess. Pots and pans were piled in the sink. Drawers and
Cabinets
were flung open. Chocolate chips dotted the floor, and empty cartons were on a sticky counter. But the smell was delicious. Why was the room a mess? I don't think it's on here.
Okay, so basically, what do you think was going on?
Maybe I don't know what was going on.
Okay, well, but yeah, I mean, they're in the kitchen. Why is the room a mess? What do you think someone had been doing? I mean, you don't think somebody broke in.
No.
Look at your clues. You've got pots and pans. You've got chocolate chips.
Maybe
Empty.
someone was trying to make something.
Baking something, yeah. So maybe baking cookies or something. Yeah, or a cake or baking something. Okay, let's put that one over here. All right, let's see. All right, let's look at this one.
Okay. A man measures the wood and uses a saw to cut it. He puts the wood in place and hammers nails into it. He continues until the entire wall is built. What is the man's job? I don't think it's on here.
Don't see that on there? What do you think his job would be?
Building something?
Some kind of a construction worker or
building a house or something.
Mm-hmm. Some kind of a builder. All right, put that one over here. Let's see. All right. All right, check that one out.
The rain was hard and steady. Sue stomped around the room and checked the closet every 5 minutes. The book that she bought the day before was flung in the corner beside the picnic basket and blanket. She stamped her feet and voiced her
Pleasure.
displeasure with nature.
So displeasure, that's a huge key word right there. What does dis mean? Like not. So is she happy or not happy?
Not happy.
Okay.
What plans did Sue have for the day? Go on a picnic.
Very good. What was another clue in there?
The book that she bought the day before was flung in the corner beside the picnic basket and blanket.
Yep, picnic basket and blanket. That was huge. All right, so get you a marker for it. All right, let's put that one off to the side. Perfect. Got time just for like 2 more. All right.
The waves crashed against the beach. Thunder cracked and lightning hit the sky. The wind howled and bent trees over sideways. People put shutters on their windows, bought supplies, and were ready. What were the people expecting? A hurricane?
Very good.
Hurricane?
Yep. You know a lot about that, just living where we live and having those. All right, last one.
Okay. The girl showed the lady her ticket. Then she walked down the stairs and found her seat. The players ran onto the field. They got their positions. The ball went up in the air and the game began. Where was the girl? A football game?
Very good. At a football game. Good job. Good job. All right. So then let's go ahead and here's this one from the one we looked at earlier. See if you could match those up.
The man's job, a carpenter.
Good. Go ahead and mark that one. Good job. We said a builder, but a carpenter, yeah.
The room was a mess. Pots and pans. Someone making cookies.
Good. Put your marker on it.
Oops. Her favorite. By the window.
Good. And last one.
Hibernate.
Excellent. So do you think being able to read something and make inferences, even it may not even ask you a formal question, like these all ask, like each one had a question, like, where was the girl? But in a story, they may not ask you that, but you still have to form those guesses and make those inferences as you're reading, and it does help you to predict what's going to happen and to figure out. And you used a great term, context clues, being able to use context clues to figure out what is going on in a story and what people are talking about is super important to comprehending and understanding. And sometimes you have to just ask yourself, where do I think she is? They don't come right out and say,
where was the
she's
girl?
she's at a football game. So you're kind of reading it and you're like, I bet she's at some sort of a sporting event. So sometimes you just have to automatically learn to ask yourself those questions, and that will help you to understand better what's happening in a story and what's going to happen based on what you already know. And some of this was just knowledge because you're using background knowledge too. Knowledge that you have and information about normal things. I like the one about the hurricane. That was one that, even though you've never lived through a hurricane, you at least
know what it is.
Because you have background knowledge. So background knowledge is very important too. So, all right, good job. Awesome activity. And when you're reading, you want to make sure that you're asking yourself important questions that help you to understand what characters are doing. All right, making inferences. Good job. We are finished.